Welcome back, everybody.
Hey guys,
Joe here.
and Kevin.
This season, we're off to a great start.
Yeah, we are.
I love that, I made this comparison before. We obviously saw the Let Bartlett Be Bartlett
Sure.
episode. It really does feel like we're playing that out with Santos, right?
Yeah, and I think that's thematically something we come back to as a motif, because this show really says run the right people and believe in those people. Like that's what the show is. It's like,
what a concept.
You shouldn't have to try to make Bob Russell look smart, or Richie look smart, or Vinnick look more conservative, right? Just let
the person be
pick
the person.
Great candidates and let great candidates do great things. Yeah, what a crazy concept, right? And I love the fact that the show leans into that idea. We should have the right people
in office
as our leaders, doing the things that they know is the best, right?
Conversely, let's not let Donald be Donald.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know it's off topic, but did you see the White House, the official White House account, sharing that AI image of him with muscles and a lightsaber?
I did.
It's like this is the White House sharing that. The White House sharing that image of a ripped Donald Trump. That's the world we live in now.
Grok says that's what he really looks like.
Yeah, right. It's just insane that we just can't. We are such an unserious country. But that's not the point.
It's not the point.
The point is we should aspire to what we're seeing on this show.
100%.
Electing serious people to do a serious job. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Serious people doing a serious job, capable people who care about doing their job well. That's it.
We may not have it in real life, but we have it here.
Right.
And the show will last forever, and it has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And we're still here in 2025 talking about it.
It's absolutely poignant now. And it will probably be poignant forever because the message is universal, right?
Yeah.
You should have good leaders trying to do a good job with good leadership.
In any walk of life, really.
Yeah. You'd think in a country of almost 400 million people, we'd be able to find one.
Nope.
God. Anyway, we should go ahead and get started.
We're sad.
And sorrow. I want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us, and give a special thank you to all our super patrons: AB, Actuarial Lurker, Balish Foldes, Chris, Derek Peterson, Empty C93, Jamie Morgan, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudukunda Varapu, Torgeir Lingstad, Trey Contreras, Warpanda47, Natasha Norris, and Yannick from Montreal. Thank you so much, friends. We're extra glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching us for the first time on YouTube, welcome to our channel. If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
A link to our Patreon page is in the description below. We're way ahead of everything over there. You'll have to sync and watch along on your own source material due to copyright law.
Yep.
That's why Ray Sullivan and I are working so hard to take back the White House for the Republican Party.
Now, ironically, a conservative that I would vote for.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty liberal Republican, but he's pretty ideal, isn't he?
Yeah. Qualified.
Santos picked up 2 points on our tracking poll.
Deadwood.
Senator?
Yeah.
Good morning, Senator. I'm Charles Frost, and I'll be handling your daily intelligence briefing. There's a situation in Kazakhstan.
He should resign the Senate now so he can't be forced into any more difficult votes.
I'd quit the Senate in the second if I thought it would help us win.
No senator has won the presidency since 1960. There is a reason for that.
Obama did.
Yeah.
Later.
TBD.
Yeah.
The RNC have a TV ad they want you to approve today.
That's awesome.
Leon Matera will have the tape when you
Are
arrive.
they ever going to stop showing these shots of Santos in uniform? Pretty great stunt.
Yeah.
Did he serve? I don't.
No, he said he never did.
Got a spot the RNC wants to run.
Oh my God.
Santos has voted for higher taxes, so it's no surprise that Matt Santos opposes the tax cuts that Arnold Vinnick thinks you deserve.
Bruno didn't want to go negative, though.
No.
Have you seen any of the ads I've written for this campaign? Anyone with half a brain?
Leon's not with the RNC. He's one of us. Have Sheila go over to party headquarters and tell them again we're not going negative. It's a good ad.
Great ad. If you're 10 points down.
Santos is gaining on us.
Reserve duty sure worked.
Most of this country cannot imagine Santos as president.
Because he's Latino?
Latino, inexperienced. You take your pick. You don't need this ad.
Tell the RNC to shelve this one for now. But if Santos says one word about my voting record, tell the RNC to carpet bomb the swing states with that ad. I gotta go kiss some babies.
So he's saying if Santos goes negative, he'll go negative.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair.
Yeah.
I want to see the gloves come off a little bit, to be fair.
Well, now that we have Citizens United with like super PACs and stuff, like the ads are all negative. There's so much money behind these bombardment campaigns.
Almost like comedic. Nancy Pelosi is the devil.
I know, right?
I'm Arnold Vinnick, and I approve this message.
stronger.
I'm Arnold Vinnick, and I'll be the nicest president ever, I promise.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. What?
I'll get it right. I'm Arnold Vinnick, and I approve this message.
Good.
Okay, Fincher.
I'm Arnold Vinnick, and I approve this message. I think we got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so too. That
Yeah,
last one looked
that
really
last one's
sincere.
good, yeah.
CNN just released a new poll.
Like a 5-point lead.
Every poll out there has Santos gaining.
Because he put on his old uniform for a weekend.
He serves in the military, man.
Yeah.
Senator, what do you think of Congressman Santos doing his reserve duty in the middle of the campaign?
Do you think it was a stunt?
No, that was devotion to duty. And I hope Congressman Santos continues to do his duty when I'm commander-in-chief.
That was good.
That was good.
Big mistake. Finnick should have changed the subject.
5 in Sacramento in 5.
Think the uniform got to him?
I know it did.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
did, yeah.
I've always answered my country's call to duty, and always will.
Had to take a shot at Santos for getting
Yep.
into that uniform.
I didn't take a shot at him. I praised his service.
Your little quip is keeping the Santos story alive.
We need to be setting the
Yeah.
agenda for this campaign.
Santos is going to have some good days. You can't let it get to you.
We've never really seen him on the back foot, have we?
No.
We're working on getting you the Houston Police Union's endorsement on Thursday.
That's got to drive Santos up the wall.
Did they ever endorse a Democrat?
No, never.
Santos got a polling bump from the reserve thing that is going to disappear just as
Santos
fast as
is not the standard-issue Democratic candidate. We got to take it to him. I want to knock him off message without ever mentioning his name.
Look, we can find ways that can surprise him.
How do we do that?
Go after the Latino vote?
You thinking about that?
Yes.
Do I actually have to say how insane that is?
Always win a Latino vote.
Maybe because you're running against a Latino candidate who's going to get 2,000% of the Latino vote.
Without ever opening his mouth on Latino issues?
What if we just do policy announcements on Latino issues?
If you're the Santos campaign, how would you respond?
I don't know.
It's the whole point. Knock him off his game.
It's smart. I mean,
Yeah.
We're going to look unpredictable or are we going to look desperate?
All right. We're changing the message of the week. We're canceling Philadelphia. We're taking it to him. Starting right now.
This might be a miscalculation, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is going to play out.
be pretty wild if he gets the vote.
Yeah. Well, he won't get the Latino vote, but he could chip it away at it.
Sure.
I can't do this meeting right now.
VFW says Vinnick just canceled tomorrow's speech. VFW is offering us the slot if we want it.
Of course we want it. I'll get him out of New York early. Have him in Philadelphia by noon. We got momentum, baby! We got the big mo!
They haven't released their schedule for tomorrow yet.
Well, they can't have anything
wait,
better
yeah.
to do. There's nothing better than the VFW if you're a Republican.
They're going to catch him off guard, aren't they? For sure.
The Vinnick campaign's agreed to our demand.
They're willing to come here to begin negotiations?
And why is that bad?
Because then we don't get to blame them for dragging their feet on debate negotiations.
Josh is going to start pushing the press to do Santos momentum stories.
He ain't got the big mo yet.
He's got something to...
He said the same thing. The big mo.
Zogby poll says Santos pulled ahead by 2 points in Maine.
We change our board when our tracking polls tell us to.
Our own tracking in Maine now has Santos ahead by 3.
So much for the 50-state plan.
Yeah.
Just got you out of a meeting with the Reverends.
Ah.
But you're going to have to do a meeting with George Rohr.
Geez, I'd rather meet with the entire American Christian Assembly.
No, you wouldn't. We're changing the message of the week to immigration issues. It's the last thing Santos wants to talk about.
What's the plan?
Dan.
Policy announcement. Double the Border Patrol. Obvious appeal to our Republican base.
Yeah, this has been done.
Yeah.
Photo op with the Minutemen. You know, the civilians who are helping patrol the border down there.
You mean the vigilantes?
Yeah.
They're not hurting anybody.
They're a local chapter of the Klan. Maybe we could do a drop.
Yeah,
by.
exactly.
The Minutemen have got a lot of national press.
Don't sell out like that.
No, he said okay.
Day 2, policy announcement. The Vinnick Guest Worker Program.
This I like. Good crossover appeal for Democrats and independents.
Especially if we sell it as part of our sensible solution.
I think we should do that too.
The Latino community is going to know what you're doing.
Introduce a bill.
In the Senate.
Leon, take the speech over to Ledge Counsel's office and have them turn it into legislative language. Day 3.
This is
Central
actually
America
really
Free
smart.
Trade Agreement.
It's old news. We passed that months ago.
Santos has a problem with it. Voted for it in committee, then voted against it on the floor.
The ugly side of politics.
I know.
George Rohr's here, waiting in the conference room.
Let's go. George Rohr's here.
If I win this election, George Rohr never sets foot in the White House.
George is going to try to jam you on judges. You got to be receptive and non-committal. I would certainly welcome your input on judicial appointments.
Hey, George, great to see you.
Good to see you, Senator.
Why don't we clear out the staff so George and I can talk alone?
They moved everyone to that room to make it look like they were too busy.
The campaign's the only excuse left for someone my age to eat junk food.
The council's just plain worried about judges, Senator. The reverends are all afraid of the kind of judges you'd appoint. We're going to need a guarantee on judges. We're going to need...
George, when I'm president, I'm going to be very eager for input from you and the group. I'm going to make the vice president my point man on judges. And you know that Ray shares your views on...
Ray does.
Yeah. He's not doing well here.
We're not worried about Ray Sullivan. We're worried about you.
Ray likes the judges you like.
We need you to commit to appointing pro-life judges.
Santos voted for partial birth abortion.
Reverend Butler and the others think that just means that Santos wants to kill a few hundred more babies a year than you do.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
Is he going to lose it?
Yeah, I would.
You think I want to kill babies, George?
If our voters stay at home, you lose. I came here to tell you how to get our voters. I came here to help you.
He's so mad.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to come out of the chair.
Can we speak confidentially?
I want to hear what the confidential conversation is.
Bad, yeah.
Double the manpower down here. Give you guys what you need to get the job done. Easiest way for a terrorist to get into this country.
He's not dressed up in army cosplay like Kristi Noem does when she goes down to the border.
We have to get control of our borders.
Vinnick says the border is a security issue. Got to stop Al-Qaeda at the Rio Grande.
Vinnick's proposing doubling the border patrol.
You know, he might as well be saying elect a Latino and there'll be a Mexican family sleeping on your front lawn.
Exactly.
Okay, we picked up another point on tracking. Story of the day, momentum, momentum, momentum.
I love having her on this show.
She's great.
Senator Vinnick wants to double the border patrol. Do you think that will stop illegal immigration?
Ellen. So suddenly you're going to hear all sorts of new proposals from the other side. But what the American people are going to hear from me is a consistent message on national security.
I like how he's handling things.
Yeah.
I really do.
That was a really good way he redirected that.
Yeah. What is it?
Did he really do that? In that, was that the off the record conversation?
Must be then, I guess. Yeah, kind of sell out a little bit there.
Drudge is reporting that sources close to the American Christian Assembly say you promised them approval of judges. The press takes Drudge very seriously, so we have to issue a denial.
Hold off on that denial.
He did it.
You didn't promise them anything, did you?
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, I sure did.
Oh, Arnold, no.
He sold out.
We got a problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He may pick up votes on that, but it was a sellout move.
It was.
Well, there's a lot of publicity about us being out here.
Senator, the Border Patrol has asked the Minutemen to stop operations. Why do you support the Minutemen?
I understand why the Minutemen are here. I understand their frustration, and I share their goals. We should leave law enforcement to the professionals.
Okay.
The Minutemen are showing you why we need to double the Border Patrol.
He spun that in a way I didn't expect.
Senator Vinnick says the Minutemen patrolling the Mexican border are vigilantes. Do you agree?
I don't see how you can afford to double the Border Patrol budget if you're going to cut taxes.
Congressman, do you agree with Senator Vinnick the Minutemen are vigilantes?
He's going to do it. He's going to say yes.
Yes, I do.
We got a problem.
He agreed with Vinnick?
He agrees, but he doesn't, agree, ultimately. You know what I mean?
Traitor!
Yeah. What's up, Bruno?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Come on, he's a Republican. So you switch parties?
Just this once.
Taking a salary or a percentage of the ad buy?
I made so much money on your campaigns, I might just do this one for free.
Oh my God, what a
line.
shot.
Yeah.
Wow. There's no coming back from that one.
He's like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'll come back. That was good."
Josh looks like he's about to come out of his skin, too.
F you. Now what?
How many debates is the Vinnick campaign proposing?
We think one's enough to highlight the differences.
Oh, come on.
Backstabbing mother.
You got anything? He pulls a little something out of the hat for lips. Amazing. What do you say about the pro-life judges thing?
He keeps avoiding the subject with me. I'm going to try and corner him about it after this thing.
Yeah, he did it for sure.
Yeah.
farm workers and other minimum
Guest worker program?
This guy's unbelievable.
This is a sensible solution to a problem that we have to face honestly.
I just got a question about a guest worker program for illegals Vinnick's gonna propose.
He's introducing a bill in the Senate right now. He's gonna want to be a co-sponsor of Vinnick's bill.
You know, I introduced a guest worker program.
You can't say no to that, you know?
Right.
Josh was right. I should have gotten out in front on all this stuff during the primaries.
You great guys. You won the nomination. Vinnick is gonna have some good days.
Exactly what Bruno said. Yep. Yeah.
You went hard right yesterday with your Border Patrol ID, and you...
Chris Matthews showing up here.
Throw a bone.
Yeah.
Don't you run the risk of confusing the voters about where you stand?
And then once we've secured the border, we have to deal with the illegal immigrants who are already here.
Why haven't you come up with a guest worker program before? Your opponent is Latino, and you figure he can't talk tough about the Border Patrol.
Yeah, welcome to Hardball, Arnie.
That time, Chris.
You have secretly pledged to appoint pro-life judges. Is that true?
Chris, the founding fathers could have written a litmus test for judges into the Constitution, but they chose not to.
That's all the time we have. Thank you, Senator Vinnick.
Thank you, Chris.
He's shot very menacingly.
Yeah. Well, he's been so wishy-washy on that.
Your candidate's exhausted. Lou called you here so you guys could double team me, huh? Keep me on message?
Next president's probably going to put a couple of judges on the court. Women's right to choose is at stake, stuff like that.
Ugh, this is all so quaint.
Yeah.
You actually think he promised the Reverend's pro-life judges?
I think he wants to win.
I can't believe he'd go that far.
If someone goes on the record and says that Vinnick promised pro-life judges, the story's going to explode. We'll be in the driver's seat.
Will somebody go on record? that one guy that met with him.
George Rohr called me before breakfast today. Watched you on Hardball last night. Well, he somehow got the idea that you promised him approval of judges.
It's because I did.
Okay.
You promised them judges?
Yeah. I lied.
You lied to George?
I lied to a liar.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't like George, but you know.
Right.
He's the problem, not me. Jeez. If his gang wants to have a say in picking judges, tell him to run for the Senate.
Yeah, nobody likes this.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that, but still, you
Right.
shouldn't have lied.
I'm just trying to get through the meeting. He had me cornered. So I figured, what the hell? Tell him what he wants to hear.
If you had checked with me, I would have told you that wouldn't work.
Thought you said you were done.
I lied.
That's good.
Yeah.
Looks like it's time to call Ray Sullivan out of the bullpen.
Increasing trade with Central America is good for our economy, and it's good for their economies.
Senator, are you trying to highlight your support for CAFTA because Congressman Santos voted against it?
I'm not sure how he voted. You can check on that.
He flip-flopped on it, yeah.
I'm probably going to get a question about CAFTA.
Because Vinnick just said something about CAFTA?
I get some sleep after this, right?
2 hours. I promise.
International trade agreements are an important component of our long-term national security planning. Nations who buy from each other usually don't shoot at each other.
Someone tell our administration that.
Yep.
It's important to our national
Why
defense.
did you vote against CAFTA?
But CAFTA was not a fair deal for us or for Central America. Look, I voted for CAFTA before I voted against it. I voted for it in committee when it was a good bill. So I voted against it.
Josh's face.
Well, how's this going to blow up?
And the press is never going to let him explain voting for it and then voting against it, so we're going to have to...
We just got our tracking. Got Vinnick up by 12.
Ooh,
Oh,
man. Holy cow.
We've got a serious problem.
I understand why you'd like the senator to make a public commitment on judges, but you've never asked a nominee to do that before.
He's got to give us a reason to support him.
And that reason's sitting right here.
Some of our people are begging me to release a statement saying he lied to me.
You're looking at the next vice president. You want to be my friend, George. Believe me, being my friend's a lot
Okay.
better than being my enemy.
We
That's a
have
good
no
sell.
problem
Yeah, it
with you, Governor.
You already know what kind of judges I want. You've seen the judges I've appointed as governor. You've approved every one of them. You can cause trouble for us, and it'll just help elect Matt Santos and Leo McGarry, or you can be a team player. You know, the worst thing about the campaign trail is surprises. I don't want any.
Well, he's a team player.
He is a team player.
But it might be just Team Sullivan.
I'm going back to D.C. tonight.
What's this?
It's my letter of resignation.
What?
Bad week.
I never thought it was going to be Santos. And now that we're using his heritage against
That's
him...
not what I'm doing. I'm talking policy.
Please, Senator. I was in the meeting. twins are 2.5 now. My mother-in-law just taught them how to say the word Santos. Someday they're gonna ask me what I did on this campaign. I can't tell them I did this.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Disappointed. I am too, a little bit.
The ugly side of Arnold Vinnick.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we'd see it, but
I mean, he's a candidate for president. There's always a dance.
I'm sure Bartlett's got his hands dirty too.
Yeah, for sure.
How did it go with George Rohr? I got him back in his cage for now. Promise him anything? I'll tell you after the election.
Yes.
It's a great image.
It is. They can cast this show, can't they?
They really can. All right.
All right, yeah.
It was really cool to see the episode start with him, down, and then up by 12 by the end
Yep.
of it. You know what I mean?
Well, we got from campaign people, right? Mm-hmm. The other guy's going to have good days. That's just how it's going to be. And we got to see good days and bad days from both candidates in this episode.
And I'm sure this isn't the only episode that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? We're going to go back and forth, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Which is completely realistic. There's going to be things that go wrong for Santos. There's going to be things that go wrong for Vinnick moving forward. Mm-hmm. I think... Again, we have no idea who wins, but I think it's tight, which means this 10-point gap. Mm-hmm. There's something's going to happen at some point, pretty big, I think, maybe, to kind of swing things back towards Santos enough to make it a really tight race.
It's got to be. And what I'm curious on a technical side of the production is somebody on Patreon told us at the end of season 6 they didn't know who was going to win the election.
Yeah.
Right? I want to see the writers figure this out.
For sure, right?
You know what I mean? It has to be a lot of fun.
This would be so much. This would be a great show to be in the writers' room on.
Right? It's like, well, this happened, so therefore this has to happen. You
right?
know what I mean? It's like,
how do we make it keep doing this as far as the polls go? Yeah,
very clever. And I wonder if, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen, but I wonder if the eventual outcome is kind of what they anticipated.
Sure.
Or if it changed throughout the writing process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, we've got less than 20 episodes of the show left now, which is crazy to me. You know, we've watched
Arrested Development today. And
we've watched 130 episodes of this show somewhere around there. Oh, yeah, it's been quite a journey.
It really has been, man. It's been fantastic show. And even with Aaron Sorkin leaving, the show is still impeccable. It really is.
Yeah, the writing is still great. The performance is still great. All the new cast members, they've cast the show like heroes. Like they've been champs on casting.
They really have. It's fun to see familiar faces pop up, like
all the time.
Like you mentioned, the dad from Deadwood is in this.
Right.
It's like that guy.
Alma Garrett's father, the actor he's one of those guys who I don't know his name. I knew it 2 weeks ago when he popped up on Deadwood. People told us, and I was like, "Oh, that guy." And now we see him here on The West Wing. I looked him up. I can't remember his name on IMDb as a curiosity. Mm-hmm. He has, of course, decades of piles of credits.
I bet.
And after this show and after Deadwood, right? Mm-hmm. 2008-ish. For whatever reason, he did like a 20-episode arc on Days of Our Lives or General Hospital, one of the
really,
one of the soap operas. Well, probably just because he likes to work.
What's funny? Stephen A. Smith is on one of those.
Yeah, I saw somebody.
You see the clip of him.
The clip of him with the gun. Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. I don't know. I like schlock. I really do.
That was pretty schlocky.
But no, like Deadwood, The West Wing is just a show full of those guys.
Yeah, just talented
and
people.
Those girls. There's so many people that pop up. I'm like, oh, from whatever,
I mean, having, Janine Garoppolo joining the cast really late,
so
just
random.
Out of the blue, randomly, but crushing it, just so good in the role.
Very different performance from her, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's done Sirius before. She was in
Copland.
She has.
Right, yeah.
But, she's a comedic actress, and she's
largely,
really, really crushing this.
Very talented woman.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. We'll see you soon.
See ya.